हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू ज्ञान केंद्र। आज हम लोग नया चैप्टर पढ़ने वाले हैं जिसका नाम है एसिड बेसिस एंड सॉल्ट्स। तुम लोगों को कुछ डाउट आ रहा था, तो गाइस ये पॉसिबल नहीं है कि मैं लाइव क्लास ले पाऊँ। अगर कोई डाउट आ रहा है आप लोगों को तो आप ग्रुप पे मेंशन कर दीजिए, नहीं तो मैंने बताया था आप लोगों को कि आप रेफर कर सकते हैं सीधे सीधे। आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, सिंपली यहाँ पे डालना को पायलट, सिंपली को पायलट आ जाएगा। को पायलट पे जाके अपना डाउट पेस्ट कर दीजिए। The answers you are getting from it is not totally correct. It might wrong, but there is no very less chances that you got something wrong related to academic. If you talk about creative things, then it might be wrong. And if you only refer theories and some standard question, then it will not give bad results. So let's continue over this topic. So, I have prepared. This is your NCRT chapter. I have this, and I have prepared for this chapter this. So we will take reference from that. It is not totally correct, but you will get some idea about acid beds and salts from this also. Should we start? Yes. I select my pen. Okay. So you have learned in your previous classes that the sour and bitter taste of a food are due to acid and bases, respectively, prevent in them. So we should study first this, then we will come to our chapter. So let's should we start from here? Acids. So what are acids? There is a definition of acids. Acid have sour taste. स्वाद में खट्टे होते हैं। दे टर्न ब्लू लिटमस टू रेड, नीले लिटमस पेपर को लाल कर देते हैं। एंड दे गिव पॉजिटिव हाइड्रोजन आयन इन वाटर solution. That's these two property are your remarkable properties, and they have salt taste is not so remarkable because you are not gonna taste acids. So that one property which they give hydrogen ion in water solution is most remarkable. You should remember this. You must. This is very useful property when you talk about acids, that acid gives hydrogen ion in the water solution. So acid is categorized in two parts: strong acid and weak acids. So strong acids: hydrochloric acid H2SO4 and HNO3, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So let's go in detail about this one. Let's we take example HCl. Okay, so let me zoom this one. So can I write some more? Okay, so if we talk about HCl and we dissolve it into water, so then what will we get? Then we will get H ion plus chloride ion. So you can see that we are getting this H plus ion here. This will specify that we have an acid. Okay. Similarly for H2SO4, we have H2SO4, and when we dissolve with water, then we get 2H positive ion plus SO4 minus 2. So these are when we dissolve acid into water. This will happen in water. So Weak acid, carboxylic acid is the weak acid. Here you can see COOH, acetic acid, oxalic acid, and lactic acid. Some are concentrated. Then we talk about concentrated acids. What are concentrated? So there is the more amount of acid and less amount of water. Okay. When we dissolve more amount of acid into water, then we can say that acid is concentrated. Similarly, we can say when the concentration of acid is more than the solvent, we can say water, then the acid is concentrated. And when the concentration of the acid is less than the water, then it is diluted acid. There are some tests. So what are the chemical properties of acids? So chemical properties of acids are, first one is reaction of acid with base. What happens when we react acid with base? So we get salt and water. Okay. When we combine acid and base, we get salt and water. So here is the three, acid and base together react to produce salt and water. This reaction is called neutralization reaction. न्यूट्रलाइजेशन रिएक्शन क्या होती है? जब हम एसिड को वाटर से रिएक्ट कराते हैं तो हमें क्या मिलता है? सिंपल साल्ट मिलेगा एक, लाइक NaCl, एंड वाटर मिलेगा H2O. Okay, so some example is that we have potassium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid, then this gives potassium chloride plus water. Similarly, you can see this reaction. So the second property is the reaction of acid with metal. What happens when we react acid with metal? So we again get salt plus hydrogen gas. देखते हैं क्या होता है with example. Here we have example, हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड जब रिएक्ट करता है मेटल से, मेटल क्या है? मैग्नीशियम. मैग्नीशियम एक मेटल है, उसी के साथ रिएक्ट करा रहे हैं. यहाँ पे तुम Mg लिख सकते हो चाहो तो इस जगह पे. ओके, तो क्या हो रहा है? HCl बना रहा है मैग्नीशियम क्लोराइड मैग्नीशियम के साथ में. तो जो मैग्नीशियम क्लोराइड है MgCl2, ये क्या है? ये सॉल्ट है. एंड द हाइड्रोजन गैस which we mentioned here, sorry, and the hydrogen gas which is mentioned here. Again, sorry guys, I'm not so habitual with writing on the laptop here. Okay, you can write Mg here, and also here you can see that this one is, I don't see because it is the end of that line. So I think that reaction start from here. So ignore this stuff. And you have Mg plus 2HCl gives MgCl2 plus H2. Okay, so the conclusion is that when we react with acid and react acid with base, it gives salt plus water, and when we react acid with metal, then it also gives salt plus not water, it gives hydrogen gas. Then reaction of metallic oxide, जब metallic side oxide की acid के साथ reaction कराते हैं तो क्या होता है? Let's see. Metal oxide plus acid gives salt plus water. Same. What we are getting same. It is getting, and it is here also. Salt plus water. Okay. CuO plus HCl gives CuCl2. It is also a salt, and H2O, water. So these are the reaction you have to remember. Then it simply can be asked that what will be the product when the acid react with metal oxide, or acid react with base, or acid react with metal. Then you simply say that when acid react with base, it simply give one salt and water at a product. Okay, I said one salt not mean that you will get only one atom of salt. Salt will be one of the your product. Okay, so next coming to the reaction of acid with metal carbonate and metal hydrogen carbonate. मेटल कार्बोनेट और मेटल हाइड्रोजन कार्बोनेट के एग्जांपल मेटल कार्बोनेट इससे कि सोडियम कार्बोनेट और सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट मेटल हाइड्रोजन कार्बोनेट. ओके, सो metal carbonate, metal hydrogen carbonate with acid gives salt plus carbon dioxide plus water. Okay, so you will get, where is the acid? I will change the color so it gets highlighted. Acid plus this is the, when acid reacts with metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate, it gives corresponding salt. करस्पॉन्डिंग सॉल्ट का तो जान रहे हो ना कि जो मेटल होगा उसी से जो सॉल्ट बन रहा होगा वही सॉल्ट देगा. अब ये नहीं कि मेटल में आपने सोडियम लिया है या मैग्नीशियम लिया है तो वो सॉल्ट किसी और का बनेगा, बनेगा उसी का सॉल्ट जो मेटल लिया है उसी का करस्पॉन्डिंग सॉल्ट ही बनाएगा. ठीक है. एंड द कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड गैस एंड वाटर. ओके, so examples is given here. हाँ, that one is the important property, conduction of electricity. Conduction of electricity. So what do you understand by the conduction of electricity? So let's read out. Acidic solutions in water conduct electricity because of hydronium ion. हाइड्रोनियम आयन जान रहे हैं ना, H3O प्लस बनता है. समझ रहे हैं ना. जब क्या होता है आपने पढ़ा अभी कि जब हम लोग किसी भी एसिड को, सॉरी, किसी भी आप एसिड को आप वाटर में डालते हैं तो वो H प्लस रिलीज करता है और ये H प्लस H2O के साथ मिलकर हाइड्रोनियम आयन बनाता है. ओके, सॉरी गाइस. तो ड्यू टू हाइड्रोनियम आयन, that the formula of hydronium ion, and this is the reaction of hydronium ion. So hydronium ions you get the conduction in water, acidic water, not acidic water. when we solve मतलब when we mix acid in water, then the hydronium ion will form, and the reason behind the conduction of electricity in acidic solution of water is hydronium ion. Okay, so hydrogen ion cannot exist alone, but they exist after combining with water. हाँ, H प्लस आयन कभी भी सोलरली एग्जिस्ट नहीं करते हैं. कह ही रहा है कि जो हाइड्रोजन आयन है वो सोलरली मतलब अकेले कभी नहीं होंगे. तो वो क्या करते हैं, वाटर जो H2O होता है उसके साथ मिक्स होके H3O प्लस फॉर्म कर लेते हैं. दैट्स द हाइड्रोनियम आयन. सो स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ एसिड्स, एसिड की we can test strength of acid by using a scale called pH scale. तो pH स्केल यहाँ देखो मिसिंग है. मैंने कहा था पीपीटी जो मैंने बनाया है सही पूरा सही नहीं है. लेस देन, व्हाट इज लेस देन? तो जब pH स्केल पे हम लोग एसिड को मेजर करते हैं तो ये लेस देन 7 होता है. ओके, जितना ज्यादा 7 से कम होगा उतना अच्छा एसिड होगा. 2 अच्छा एसिड है, 3 से, 4 से, 7, सॉरी 7 तो बेस या फिर न्यूट्रल मान सकते हो, 6 से. ओके, नाउ वी टॉक अबाउट बेसिस. Here is your new topic, bases. What are bases? So we further talk about taste. So bases are bitter in taste and soapy in touch. This is a physical property. What they look like or what they taste, this is a physical property. Okay, they turn red litmus. This is a chemical property. रेड लिटमस को ब्लू कर देते हैं, ये क्या है, इसकी केमिकल प्रॉपर्टी है. दे गिव OH माइनस इन वाटर सोल्यूशन. And acid, what gives acid? Acid gives H plus ion. Okay. Okay, let's as acid are categorized into strong and weak. So here same as bases, strong and weak bases, and here are some example of the strong and weak bases. Okay, I'm not going to in detail. So then we talk about the chemical properties of bases. Okay, so let's talk about first reaction of base with metal. एसिड के साथ पढ़ी चुके हो आप, वो दोनों में कॉमन हो गई, ठीक है। एसिड और बेस रिएक्शन, बेस के साथ एसिड, एसिड का बेस कॉमन है, क्या देगा, साल्ट देगा, वाटर देगा। सिंपली रिएक्शन ऑफ बेस विथ मेटल, तो क्या होता है, लेट्स सी। बेस प्लस मेटल गिव साल्ट प्लस हाइड्रोजन गैस। अगर आपको कंपैरिजन स्टडी करनी है तो थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा। लेट्स सी दैट व्हाट एसिड विल गिव। एसिड विल गिव reaction of it with metal carbonate and metallic oxide and metal. Okay, क्या, when give acid plus metal salt plus hydrogen gas, यही था ना। सेम बेस, बेस क्या कर रहे हैं, बेस भी वही कर रहे हैं, बेस प्लस मेटल गिव साल्ट प्लस हाइड्रोजन गैस। ओके, हियर इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ योर रिएक्शंस। बेस इन वाटर, वाटर में बेस क्या करता है, सिंपली H2O have H plus and OH minus. So when bases generate hydroxide ion in water, that we already know, water soluble bases are called alkalis. This is the point you have to remember, that water soluble bases called alkali. Okay, examples, MgOH का whole twice plus H2O gives Mg plus 2 MgOH, you know what? Plus MgOH का whole twice. Yeah, there is missing something, I can't get further 3OH minus that is there. MgOH का whole twice, I have to write this equation for simplification. Let's check. Mg1 OH and OH 3OH and 2H plus, not H plus. What will be H plus OH minus and OH minus 2, so 3OH minus, only H plus will be there. You can confirm it by your book, yeah, or we will see in chapter. Okay, then the reaction of non-metallic oxide with base. Non-metallic oxide with base, we have seen the reaction with metal oxide with acid. Now we are seeing the reaction of metallic oxide with base. So what the product, non-metal oxide plus acid plus salt. Non-metal oxide plus acid gives salt plus water. ओके, सॉल्ट प्लस वाटर वो भी दे रहा था मेटल ऑक्साइड के साथ भी, और ये भी दे रहा नॉन मेटल ऑक्साइड के साथ। सो सिंपली आप रिलेटेबल अगर रखेंगे ना आप चीजों को, तो याद जल्दी रहेगा कि एसिड क्या करता है, बेस क्या करता है। तो एज अ डिफरेंस याद रखेंगे ना आप, तो जल्दी याद रहेगा आपको। तो ये एग्जांपल्स, it is clear that the non, that's the point you have to remember. So similar to the acids conduction of electricity, bases in water also conduct electricity as the acid do, as bases also dissociate into hydroxide ions in water, thus the conduct electricity। जैसे कि वहाँ पे H प्लस में टूट रहा था, ठीक है, लेकिन यहाँ पे OH माइनस टूट रहा है। टूटने का मतलब डिसॉल्व हो रहा है कि हाइड्रोजन आयन और हाइड्रोक्सिल आयन OH माइनस उन दोनों में टूट रहा है, तो they were the region of conduction of electricity in water. Okay, here is clear that this line will clear to you. Okay, strength of bases same as the pH. Strength of base, pH value of base is always less than 7, more the value which is stronger, and base will be Forget it. What is he saying that? They simply remember that the pH value of bases is should be greater than or equal to 7. Not equal to is the middle range, or you can say borderline of the acid and bases. So greater than 7 it is base, less than 7 it is acid. pH scale, here you can see that pH scale. I should make it, yes, okay. You can read what is pH scale, importance of pH. I will not going to explain this. That is the theoretical part of your course. Okay. So न्यूट्रलाइजेशन रिएक्शन आपको पढ़ा ही चुका हूँ क्या है. तो एसिड प्लस बेस, so KNOH plus HCl salts of strong acids. These are the practical example of day-to-day life where we use salt, acid, and base. Okay. I'm not going into deep that. Bleaching powder, that's here we should start, so that the salts, these are common salts whose composition is mainly NaCl is common salt when the process electricity through an aqueous solution. So here is the process of your preparation of various salts. Okay, so the common salt and the preparation of bleaching powder. So here with the bleaching powder, here cathode preparation bleaching powder plus chlorine gas gives CaOCl2 plus H2O. Here we talk about bleaching powder. Then what is the formula of bleaching powder? CaOCl2. Okay. So how do we prepare bleaching powder? When we simply react calcium hydroxide with chlorine gas, then we get our bleaching powder and a water. Uses of bleaching powder you have to study. And the simply baking soda, मतलब खाने वाला सोडा जो नहीं होता, बेकिंग सोडा, सोडियम हाइड्रोजन कार्बोनेट. Okay. Preparation simply when common salt is treated with ammonia in the presence of water and carbon dioxide, then baking soda is formed. NaCl plus H2O plus CO2 plus NH3 gives NH4Cl plus NaHCO3. Uses of baking soda. Simply these are the methods. Plaster of Paris, you should remember it. Okay, the formula and what are the uses of plaster of Paris. Gypsum, you will study in your further classes. Uses of POP. So I'm not going into detail of your daily use of acid base and salt and the preparation of some salts and okay, so we should move further to that. I'm not going to take time in this chapter more because I have already discussed in deep, I think, as much I can, so I discussed in that. So let's take a overview of that topic. Okay. Indicators, litmus paper हो गया, methyl orange हो गया, which tells about the difference between the acid and bases. That's we know in, but we discussed in this that how do acids and bases react with metals. Okay, ये जिंक मेटल है. So you can see that we discussed all the topic which is mentioned here. Okay, that we also seen in first slide. Reaction of metallic oxide with acid. Metallic oxide, that also I've covered in that topic. You can see here that reaction of metal oxide here. Reaction of metal oxide where man? Yeah, here. Okay, so we studied a lot. Reaction of a non-metallic oxide with base. We also covered this. What do all acid and bases have in common? So I have told you that you have to study like differentiating that what are the similarities in that both react with metal and what are the products. So when you differentiate on the basis of category or reactions, then you will remember more efficiently. Okay, so कॉमन इनमें कॉमन क्या है, इनमें डिफरेंस क्या है, सो यू विल गेट a lot better in the chemistry. What happens to an acid or in a base in water solution? वाटर सोल्यूशन में क्या होता है, बताइए आपको क्या होता है. H प्लस और OH माइनस में टूटते हैं. Okay, we have seen that acids get H triple. Let us see what happens when base is solved. OH minus. Okay, you can also see. I'm confirming that we have covered all the topics. Okay, how strong are acid base solution? Strong that we can see on pH scale. Here is the pH scale. That zero is the most acidic solution and the decreasing graph. Here is the your pH scale. What is this? pH of some common substances or in pH paper. Okay, pH paper है. इसका आप एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे अगर आपके कॉलेज में होती है लैब, तो आप ये एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे. इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ पीएच ये आपको पढ़ना है, मैंने बताया. So that's it. More about salts. I will not going to cover theoretical parts as the preparation of these bleaching powder or baking soda. You have to study by yourself. So that's it. I give you the idea about what is acid, base, and salt, and what are the reactions. The most important thing in this chapter is that you have to remember the reactions means chemical properties of acid bases. That what will the product when they react with metal oxide or base. So you have to remember that things, and you have also remember the preparation methods, that how will we will be going to prepare bleaching powder, sodium bicarbonate, etc. Okay, so I'm leaving that up to you. So that's all. I'm done with chapter 2. Okay, bye guys.